Hey guys, welcome to another episode of El Jefe Shop Shop. This week we're going to swap the open diff in the HILUX that's been giving me heaps of trouble for an LSD. So here we have the new LSD diff. Thanks Harley. It's a 3.57 ratio, whereas the one in the car is currently a 4.1. So this will be better at 110 than that one, lower revs and stuff, and make it a whole lot nicer to drive. So this is out of a 4-wheel drive 6-stud HILUX, whereas mine's a 2-wheel drive 5-stud. So we're going to take the center out, we'll take the axles out, take the center out, and see if they're the same. So we've got the axles out, now we're just going to undo the fill and the drain. So I'm just going to undo the fill so that it's got some air to go back in, and I'll undo the drain and drain the oil into the pan. And once that's pretty low, we'll put them back in, flip it over and undo the bolts on the front. So hopefully these aren't completely stuffed. So as you saw, we got the diff center out of the HILUX. So I'm going to just wipe this down and hopefully there's a number on here to tell us the gear ratio. The other one didn't have it, but we'll see how we go. So we need to check the 6-stud axles into the 5-stud diff, make sure the splines are the same. And if that's the case, then we use the 5-stud axles and the 6-stud center. So just wipe this down, see if I can find a number, and then we'll test fit that axle. So the splines fit, so we can use the 5-stud axles and the 6-stud center, which is what we wanted to do anyway. We got both the diff centers here, and we found the number on each. So the open diff says R41, which is 41 ratio, so 4.1, and the LSD says R35, which is 3.5s, which is what I thought it was. I think it's a 3.56 or 7, so good enough. Now the other thing to look at on this one here, this is the open diff. It's got 4 gears in here that spin, doing whatever they want, and it's separate to this. Whereas in the LSD, it has this big housing here, and if I spin that, it spins everything. And the little gears in there are a lot more controlled. So if I spin the front, both axles spin. I don't know if you're able to see that, but that axle spinning, and the other side is also spinning. Whereas if I do this one, spinning, yeah, that one's spinning, you watch. That one's spinning as well, but if I put any force on it, I can make it go the other way while spinning it. Whereas if I try and do that with the LSD, it's not going to work. So, clean this up, pop it in. So finished under the car, we've got the diff center in, got the fill plug undone and the drain plug done up, got the tail shaft back on, and we've done the other side, but now I'll show you on camera. So just need to put the axle back in, put the brake line back on. There's 4 bolts at the back of here, the brake line, and then the handbrake cable, which is a little 12mm nut as well. So just do that, and then we'll fill the diff, and we have to bleed the brakes because I had to take the brake line off. So laying under the HILUX, putting diff oil in. Yay!
Hey Jeff.
Yes.
You're about 5 minutes from driving with your new diff.
Yes. It's exciting. So we just bled the brakes and I was going to put the wheels on and we can drive it. And I'm really excited to see how slow it is and how 2-wheel burnouts getting bogged it does. We've got the brakes bled, we've got the diff in, diff oil's in, wheels are tight, so we're just got to give it a drive now. So let's go. It's much easier to drive. like take off. Oh, I don't know how bad my speedo is going to be, actually. Probably pay attention to that. It's definitely slower, but it's not too bad. It's not crazy different. So we just took the HILUX for a test drive, and it pretty much just feels like it's got a sixth gear now. So we have to be a little bit careful with what gear we're in. So everything I was doing in fourth before is now in third. Everything I was doing in fifth is now in fourth, so on. So it's really good. Still takes off in first, no worries. And it's not as pokey off the line, which we expected. So it's a little bit slower, but feels heaps better, and the revs are lower at 110, which is what we're after. That's it for this episode. See you next week.